We are trying to figure out how to persuade others to behave and think in a way that is in line with our goals. We recognize that to achieve this, we need to use both rational arguments and emotional arguments. Arguments that take advantage of humans' cognitive biases and the mental shortcuts that we have all developed in order to get through a life full of complex information and time constraints. As we think about effective persuasion, we cannot help but picture a big elephant walking down a path with a small rider on top. And in this analogy, the big elephant represents our emotional side, the automatic processes that help us decide what to do every minute of the day. Part of these automatic processes are all the habits, mental shortcuts that we have developed during our past experiences. The rider represents the rational side of our brain, our ability to consciously weigh benefits against costs in an effort to make rational decisions. And the path represents the environment in which we make our decisions. Now, sitting at a table faced with a person across the table, a person that is represented by a big elephant, a small rider, and a path, what should we do? Usually when we think about persuasion, we think about verbal persuasion, making a strong, logical argument that convinces the other person to think or act in the way we want. Therefore, when we try to influence a person, we almost always target the rider exclusively. But unfortunately, it is a fact that even if the other party understands our rational arguments, they are unlikely to change their behavior. It takes more than a rational argument to persuade a person to change their actions. In fact, to persuade someone to do something or to think in a certain way, you will probably need to address both the person's rider and the person's elephant. You need to make both a logical, rational case and an emotional case for your suggestion. And on top of that, you probably have to make it easy for the person to do what you are suggesting. That is, you probably need to control the environment as well. To conclude this analogy, which I have probably pushed to its very limit, to persuade effectively, we want to get the rider, the elephant, and the path to point in the same direction. Thus, when persuading a person to change, using the language of the Heath brothers as stated in their book Switch, you have to do three things at the same time. You have to change their mind. You have to target the rider. You have to change their hearts. Target the elephant. You have to change their situation. Target the path. We have already argued that through careful preparation, we can develop rational arguments based on facts and evidence. We can use the power of information and expertise to influence. We have also argued that the environment is important, and we need to arrange the environment in a way that helps the other party make the choices that we promote. So, our last task is to think about how to address the emotional side of people in order to increase the odds of them accepting our proposals. That is, we need to figure out how to trick the elephant.